Well, I'm here with the main researchers and compilers of an amazing exhibition and book, and you can see the exhibition here in the church of old prints and postcards of Walton, and these are all members of the Frinton and Walton Heritage Trust. Who's going to do the intros round here?
Rachel.
Right. Hello, Rachel Baldwin.
I'm Rachel Baldwin, yes, I'm Managing Trustee of the Frinton Heritage Trust. And these are my colleagues. We've got Liz Bruce, we've got Linda Ellis, we've got John Barter, we've got Roger Kennell.
Hi there, and who's going to tell me how this got started?
Well, I think Rachel's the appropriate one, or there's been the intention of the Trust for some years to compile a postcard book of walton-on-the-naze, and we got together some 4 years ago, started meeting regularly, identifying postcards, had it in the postcard walk format, so that it was organised, and then looking at captions, and we found quickly that from other published material there were certain things that didn't match up or correlate. So we said we've got to go back to original documents and research it fully, and that's taken us a huge amount of time. But bit by bit has come to fruition, putting it all together, getting extra pictures in, and then getting the actual format, getting maps drawn, which John has kindly done. And today we've got the culmination of that with this launch today, which has been very successful, I believe. And it's just interesting seeing people's enjoyment.
Well, let's have a look at the book. Here we go.
We have,
and
we have the end papers and maps throughout the book that shows the route, identifies the where the cards are situated, and then there's some historical information about various major leading figures in the development of Walton-on-the-naze and the Walton Improvement and their commissioners, and then we start with sort of postcards with the historical information below, going through the whole of the route round Walton, all the way down from the north to the south, and then back up through on the west side of the town through the. So
where Rachel, where did all this material come from?
Well, we have a very extensive archive in the Walton Maritime Museum, and we regard the postcards as one of our prime sources for recording the history of the town and the changes. And so we go out and we buy postcards, and we have an archive of over 2,200 postcards of Walton, and that basically has been the source. We've borrowed one or two from John here because he's got some that we haven't, which is always a source of great enjoyment and sort of jealousy and rivalry between us. But basically, that's why we collect the cards.
Wow, and what was the rest of the group doing?
Checking information, checking the facts, typing it up, getting it to the printers, etc. A lot of research.
Did you meet some new people while you were doing this?
No, I work in the archives
I see.
on my own.
You keep it all organised?
Yes.
Yes. And most of the people in the archives are long gone.
We've referred to various authoritative sources like Dr. Peter Boyden, who was renowned because he set up the Walton Record Office when he was a teenager many years ago. When he moved away from the area to university, he gave Frinton Walton Heritage Trust quite a lot of his original material, which actually started the Trust's archives off in 1984. So we have used prime sources where we can, verified secondary sources. We use local newspapers, which we've got an extensive collection of at our archives in Frinton, and that's basically how we went about it.
We've only just moved to Walton, but we found that we live in London at the moment, and when we say to anybody in East London or indeed Essex, and mention Walton, they all say, well, yes, of course, we used to go to Walton on holiday. It's incredibly widely known, but not quite so visited these days, I guess.
Indeed. I mean, nowadays it's more known for its caravan camps and for daily visitors, but in the old days, Victorian times, the 20s and 30s, of course, a lot of people came down here for their week's holiday. They also came down to convalesce. I mean, Walton had a huge number of convalescent homes. East Coast bracing air was well known. We've got quite a few images about those on here today. And they, of course, course, they came by steamers, and we've got lots of pictures of the pier and paddle steamers, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of people coming down to Walton by that means.
And I guess a lot of people have forgotten about the steamers. Have you got good stuff about the steamers in here?
Yes, the bells, particularly the bell steamers that came out of the Tower Bridge and came and called at the various landing stages, particularly as before the railways became more available for the holidaymakers to come and visit. And Walton was famous for its being the staging post to go further north, where people changed steamers. So it was that's why our pier is so long, because it had to meet the larger steamers, particularly around about 1900. The paddle steamers were the Walton Bell, the Clacton Bell, and many others were used to come into the end of the pier, and then there was an electric train that brought people to the shore. So it's quite a and that's how electricity came to Walton, because of providing electricity for the pier.
How long did it take to get from London? You know?
Not much different to these days, really, by train. In fact, they advertise, when you look at the advertisements for the early trains, it took about 2.5 hours, which is not that different to what it takes now.
Oh, that's amazing. So it was a good day trip?
Oh, it was a marvellous day trip, and it was very, very, very popular. A lot of the youngsters who are now, retirement age, will tell you that they used to go meet the trains and take the luggage to the various boarding houses. And the boarding houses were a huge, big business, and people made a lot of money. And I was talking to somebody here earlier on who said, we lived in a end of terrace, 2 up, 2 down, semi-detached, and in the summertime we would all have to go live downstairs, and my parents let the upstairs out because that was a jolly good source of revenue. And of course people are coming on the train, for instance, and we would be full every summer, every week.
Can you just walk down and just have a look at some of the places that people stayed? Oh, hello. Hi. You joining us for a chat?
I'm just come to say cheerio to Rachel.
Oh, hi.
Thanks for being here. Good to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you, David. Yeah.
Great.
Do you want to have a look at the...
Well, show me... oh, yes, this looks good.
High Street.
I do.
We've got some interesting images here, for instance, of the Peace Day celebrations after the First World War, which a lot of people possibly don't realise actually took place in 1919, not in 1918. And interesting that we've got Arthur James Baker shop here, and this is the High Street, and quite noticeable Japanese flags, which of course it means instantly that you know that it wasn't post-Second World War. There's another one taken probably around about the same weekend, definitely taken then, outside the post office, which was on part of the downstairs of the town hall in the High Street, not far, a bit further down the High Street in the previous image. So that's nice, because you can see all the staff standing outside having a nice formal picture.
And can just about recognise some bits of the High Street still.
Yes, you can recognise the town hall in the middle of that image there, which still exists, but it has shops either side and in the middle where the main entrance was. Portobello, which of course is now no longer a hotel or a pub, but has been converted into shops, and a very old thatched hostelry called the Hoy, which was taken down not long after that picture was taken. So we've got pictures taken over quite a long period. Some of the ones I like are the ones with good examples of clothing. And the children, for instance, in this picture, which is taken down the far end of the High Street, you can see the children are completely in awe of the camera. They're just standing there gawping at it. And of course the cameraman would have been a really novel thing. And in this one you've got Panama hats and so forth, and long dresses and very formal clothes. And of course there are lots of pictures of buildings which aren't here anymore.
And here's the special constables.
Special constables, yes, again, during the First World War, all standing there ready to do their duty. And obviously they ensured the blackout was in place. And they did work in the backwaters and so.
Will be down at the museum in the summer?
Will be down, yes. The whole display will be taken down and put up in Walton Maritime Museum for the summer season. So
when's that going to be?
Well, basically what happens is that it'll be down there for the Easter weekend, it'll be down there for the 2 May bank holiday weekends, and then it'll be down there from the 1st of July through to the end of September, and all the images that you see here, which include all the pictures in the book, which is 115 postcard images, plus another 115, so there are 230 images here altogether.